Well, good morning. Welcome to the end of another week. It's been a busy week here at Asset Class, so let's dig in. And so as we enter May, a couple of new members of the team, both joining in the sales organization, extending and expanding our footprint in our core market of the US. We have Peter Graves, who's joining as Regional Vice President of Sales for the Central Region. And so Peter comes to us from Encino, a leading company, software company in the core banking application space. Brings a tremendous amount of experience and insights on the Force.com platform, which is the platform that Asset Class is built on. And also delighted to be able to welcome Chris Most, who joins us on Monday. Chris, again, will be Regional Vice President of Sales for the New York region, one of the largest regions, not just in the US, but indeed globally as a financial center. And Chris comes with really decades of experience in the private capital space. So incredibly excited for both Peter and Chris. Over the coming weeks and months, I'm sure they'll get an opportunity to meet with you, our clients, our prospects, our partners, and delighted to be able to, as I say, expand our footprint there and serve our clients and prospective clients even more so than we can today. So great news this week. Also this week spent quite a bit of time looking at our product strategy. We ran a couple of internal sessions, had the opportunity to talk to a number of our investors about our product strategy, get some feedback, some interesting insights. One of the benefits of operating in the private capital sector is our investors are a great source of insight because they're also our customers. So getting that product feedback and drilling down on the areas of our platform that could do with some additional upgrades, some TLC, always healthy to do that, and always exciting actually to be able to spend some quality time thinking about how we can improve the platform. And we do have some really interesting developments in the works. I think our clients are going to see some significant upgrades to what I believe is already a pretty feature-rich portal experience for LPs, but a lot of work going into that part of the product. We're continuing to improve some of the functional areas around fund administration tasks, just to make it easier for people who manage fund administration internally. And so I think in areas of waterfall management and, as I say, just those typical fund admin tasks like capital calls, distributions, NAV updates, fund updates, etc., making that even easier for fund managers to manage. So that's been great. I guess one of the biggest challenges in that discussion was really trying to narrow down and prioritize the area of focus for the product, because there are lots of areas in which we could either expand the product or continue to improve on. That's just the nature of software, and particularly SaaS companies. I guess one of the benefits for our clients is they'll benefit from these iterative improvements over time, but certainly some big improvements coming down the pipe as a result of this week's prioritization. And great session with our product team, with our product marketing team, our design team. Looking forward to bringing those improvements to market and continuing to deliver hopefully delightful experiences for our clients and indeed for their LPs as a result. One of the other interesting things this week was listening to SEC Chairman talk about his views on the market. It's been a very challenging market over recent quarters. The trade press is awash with actually mixed news. I think it's probably erring a little bit more towards the positive in some sectors, certainly in the credit sectors. Commercial real estate continuing to raise its head as a challenge, but I just thought it was interesting for Powell to make the comment that he felt we were closer to the end of this than we were to the beginning. I think encouraging. Also, I think reinforcing of what we're seeing, as a software company focused on private capital, serving venture capital companies, private equity companies, real estate companies. We are definitely seeing an uptick in interest and certainly an uptick in funding. which is great to be able to see that. I think the markets can only pause for so long. The capital does need to find a home. There's certainly a few stories out there of some companies returning cash to LPs. It's rare, but it's happening, and reflective probably more so of the markets that they're focused on. But definitely a more positive vibe emerging, and yeah, it'll be great to see that start to ripple through a little bit more. But yeah, we can definitely verify on our side that that's a trend that we're seeing, a very positive trend. So I think emerging from the winter through spring and into summer is probably also a good analogy for what's happening in the private capital markets here, and let's hope that continues. One of the other really enjoyable activities this past week was recording the latest episode of The People of Private Capital. If you're not aware of it, it's a podcast that we run here at Asset Class. It focuses, as the name suggests, on people from the private capital space. It could be general partners, founders, etc., portfolio company representatives that are telling their story, sharing either their fundraising story or their investment thesis, their area of focus. And so I had the opportunity this past week to talk with Paul Welch. Paul heads up private equity at Elizabeth Park Capital Management. He's also the portfolio manager for the Mission Driven Bank Fund. That podcast will be out here in the next week or so, but a really great conversation with Paul. Very generous in terms of sharing his story with us, and I think you'll find it really interesting. I'll drop a link to the podcast website. If you're interested in subscribing, you will find the links there to wherever you get your podcast. But yeah, great to talk with Paul this week, and hopefully people will enjoy the episode. So that's it for another week. A rather brisk and slightly overcast, but certainly fresh morning here in Ireland as we wrap up the week. However you're wrapping up your week, I hope you had a great one, and wishing you the very best for the week ahead. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.